In a recent video which I entitled Aikido Subtleties, I believe, I showed this technique where he takes Gyaku Hanmi, Gyaku, and I cut into him and raise his shoulder up and go through for Shihonage. So this is kata we're showing, but it's kata so that you can expand your repertoire. Now it's also possible to do this raising the shoulder, doing it Ai Hanmi. So he takes Ai Hanmi, and yes, we're connected, so this is kata. And I can also raise the shoulder here, go through, pivot, down. So normally, or what you often see and what people can get away with, is they sort of go like this, bang. And there are other ways of doing it, I won't deny. You can also go out here, you can take it this way. But whatever you're doing, you're trying to remove any other weapons that he has. So with this one I'm particularly showing at the moment, we're actually raising the shoulder, going through, pivoting. Okay, you show it then? Aikido concepts at play here. Well, two that I'm highlighting. One is Kuzushi. Kuzushi means breaking the balance, and the other is Maai, which is distance. So for instance, if I just do this, my Maai is bad because he can reach me. If I do this, he is going to struggle, and it's only going to be there a moment anyway. So I've achieved both Kuzushi, because he's up on his toes, Maai, because he can't strike me, and the technique. Whereas if I'm sloppy, and I do everything wrong, I grasp his wrist like that, and I try to do that, bang, I've got nothing. Now, another way of achieving the same end is to actually take it out there. So this time, but look how I'm doing it. I'm having to swivel my body out there, and once again, what I've essentially done is straightened his arm, brought his back there so I can jab him, stepped under and simply pivoted on my feet. So you show that. So there's an aspect of Aikido which is probably quite hard to see. Even I imagine people who've done Aikido will know what I'm talking about, or possibly will be able to relate to it. Thing is, bad habits tend to set in, particularly if you don't practice with other people, particularly if you don't take new input. And nowadays there's plenty of input out there because there's lots of videos, but it's no good as a beginner to watch videos. You need to actually get in and feel it, and you need to develop the body through kata. You can't just look at it, or very unlikely you can just look at it and imitate it. There's just much more in there than you can really see. So, okay, holding hands is not practical. It's just a way of learning stuff. I mean, it might happen, but really it's not that likely. Now, there are various ways of coming to it, and a good martial way I've seen is Nishio Aikido, is Nishio Sensei. And so the blow's coming in, steps inside, and blow to the face this way. Then using what we've been using, we turn them. So I mean, it's good Maai if you can hit them and they can't hit you, sort of thing. So now comes with that hand. Bang! And I've stepped inside. He can't strike me. He can't strike me, and also I've struck him. I've got this. He still can't strike. But remember, potentially he's already been hit twice. So he comes in, and I step inside, bang, up, possibly, kicks, strike, give it. So here we go, this hand. So, bang, bang. So you'll see that at no time in that process do I have any ability to counter. So I'll show this side again and break it down sort of 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3, and what we're doing is we're doing this. So comes in, and we're stepping, and we're just pivoting. Now, I'm not saying pivoting's especially right or especially wrong. You know, you can do whatever, but this creates quite a nice, compact and sharp technique. So that's hand. So I'm inside the punch, a blow to the face, shoulder away, step, pivot, down. There are just many ways of doing techniques, and you know, sometimes I might, for instance, same arm again, same arm again. And sometimes, for instance, I emphasize, say, moving to here and being behind them like that. That's a very gentle Shihonage, you can do that. But that's hand. If you step far enough with this one, you have turned them, so you are effectively behind them as well. It's just a different a subtlety, really. So there are lots of ways to do this, but it's really interesting when you can actually explore them with somebody else, sort of perhaps more freely. And so you learn the basic stuff in the dojo, and then if you're really lucky and you have a training partner, then you know you can take it further, or you can work something out in the dojo, whatever. But there's people get locked up here and say this is the way to do it, it's the only way to do it. There's loads of ways of doing practically every technique you can look at.